This is Cody Blair with Wired Study Tips from StudyProf.com. The following is an excerpt from a complete video that you can find on the StudyProf.com website. Would it be worth your while to actually study 5 minutes less per hour and remember over 35% more? That's worth its weight in gold right there. Think how much time that could save you if you were actually remembering 35% more. Again, this is coming directly out of psychology research. And you can see on the screen here, again, it's those German psychologists from the late 1800s that first started figuring this out. So on the screen, you can see the graph. We've got percent recall on the y-axis again. So 100% recall up at the top means I remembered it perfectly. I've got time on that x-axis again, but this time it's a very even scale down there, and it's in minutes. So halfway would be 30 minutes, all the way would be 60 minutes. So what we're looking at here is about a 60-minute learning session. Could be a 60-minute long class or reading a textbook for 60 minutes. These German scientists started doing research to try to figure out exactly how much you remembered from each minute during that study session. So they would give people a lecture and then test some of the people on minute 22 and test some of the people on what they heard in minute 37 and work through all the minutes like that until they figured out how much people remembered from each separate minute of the class. And they ended up with a curve like this. So you've got this peak right up at the front. Your brain's still fresh, you're just starting the lecture, and you actually remember quite a bit from the beginning part of the class. But as time goes on, especially when you get towards the middle and end of the class, your memory goes way down because you're getting tired. You're trying to memorize new stuff when you haven't yet memorized the old stuff, and they interfere with each other, a process that psychologists call interference, and that influences the amount of information you can remember from that time period. But then at the end of the class, it goes back up again. Okay, and part of that is because you're not getting the interference, right? And your brain has time to process it and actually memorize it. Part of it is because you anticipate the end of that class coming, and your arousal level goes up a little bit, so you end up remembering more. Again, this is one of those studies that's been done hundreds and hundreds of times, and the results are so reliable that they've actually given names to each one of these peaks. So that first peak is called the primacy effect. That is, you remember better what you learned first. And the last peak is called the recency effect. You remember better what you learned most recently. Okay, so it's a very reliable result. Now, here is where the magic comes in. These guys found out that, and in fact, they asked themselves a little question. They said, well, you know, an hour long, that's kind of a long time for a class, but what if it was a 30-minute class? Do you get the same sorts of peaks and valleys? So what they did is they broke up that 60-minute class into two 30-minute classes with a 2-minute break in between. So you see, I put that middle line on there, that thick blue line, that's a 2-minute break right in the middle. And lo and behold, the curves started over when they did that. So look at all the information they added in just by taking a 2-minute break right in the middle. They added in all that information that the students were able to remember better later on just by taking a short break. Oh my gosh, all right? When I first read about this, I was thinking, that's just way too easy. There's no way that just taking a little break between study sessions is going to make that huge of a difference on my recall. Again, it's an easy thing to try, though. Get yourself out a stopwatch or set your timer on your cell phone or whatever. Set it for 30 minutes, and when that timer goes off, take a little break. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. Then come back and start studying again. And I immediately discovered, wow, that is the way to do it. I remembered so much more. Not only that, but I could study for a lot longer periods of time because I didn't get worn out, right? I was taking a break every 30 minutes. Now, this study has been done enough that they can tell you exactly how long your study sessions need to be and how long your breaks need to be, right? The ideal study session is anywhere between 20 minutes and 60 minutes long. Less than 20 minutes, and it's hard to get in a full unit of meaning. Okay, it breaks it up too much. More than 60 minutes, and you're giving away memory. You could be getting better results by taking breaks. Okay, the breaks need to be anywhere from 2 minutes to 15 minutes long. Less than 2 minutes, and you really don't get the effect of having that break there. It's like you didn't really take one. More than 15 minutes, and you start forgetting what you learned just before, so it's a little too much. So I started out with about a 5-minute break, and that seemed to work out really well. As I went on, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, I might start to get a little fatigued. So then I would extend my break to a 10-minute break instead. Now, by the way, when you take the breaks, it's very important that you think about something completely different. If you continue to think about what you were just studying, it's like you didn't even take the break. You don't get the effect. So go do something fun. Go watch your favorite TV show, or throw the frisbee to your dog, or talk to your best friend on the phone. Whatever it is, something to distract you and to kind of restore your interest level. Okay? So, but I found that I could study for hours and hours and hours doing this because I didn't get tired. I was taking all these breaks. And the memory increase that I got from doing this simple task, or this simple technique, was extremely powerful and huge. It was very much worthwhile. And this is something you can start applying tonight and see the results tomorrow. Very valuable stuff. This has been Cody Blair with Wired Study Tips from StudyProf.com. This was an excerpt from a previously recorded video that you can see in its entirety on the StudyProf.com website. Look for the study video link on the right-hand side.